What's going on, everybody? I'm gonna add in some different kinds of videos now that I'm still lifting, obviously, still preaching, so that's not going to change anything, but I'm also doing everything I can right now to prepare to be a better bow hunter. Like I said in the previous video, one of my main goals is to consistently begin taking nice mature bucks with my bow. I'm bow hunting exclusively, and part of the way you do that is in January, February, as soon as the season's over, you start scouting, because you're not worried about spooking deer because the season's still far enough away, and it's real easy to see sign because all the green's still off. So we're out on, one of many scouting trips I've already been on, and I'm going to continue to go on until the green gets on, turkey season starts. So we're on some public ground right now, and we're not even 40 yards from the truck. You can actually see it behind me, and we've already got a primary scrape area. A possible primary scrape area that we see. We've got one here, we've got another one over there, and then what looks like a third one. Let's see, possibly another one on this same side of the tree. So that's a good sign, and that tells me we're maybe looking at an area that may not have a lot of hunting pressure, which is a good thing. You need to make sure and do postseason scouting because just like any other endeavor I've competed in, once the competitive season itself is over, which in this case would be hunting season, bow season, in other cases whether I've done triathlons or whether I've done powerlifting, whatever it may be, the second my meet that I've trained my butt off for is over, the next competitive season starts. So same here, the second hunting season ends, the next season begins, and we start getting ready for it. Just like any other, sports teams, whether it be football, as soon as the season's over, you start preparing for next season. That's what we're doing here as well. We have found their buffet, if you will. We got a lot of shelled acorns right here. All through here, nothing but honey locust trees. So we've definitely got a good food source here, a couple good bedding areas around it. So we got our hopes up. Down from that, the honey locust and everything, which they were all right back here, and all the acorns, we've got a big bedding area. So you can kind of see where it's all laid down behind me, right in here. Oh, still used to this selfie thing, getting used to it. So we've got a lot of laid down areas in the midst of this tall grass and briars and everything. There's a couple little rubs inside here, so we've got food, bedding, everything real close to here. So this is shaping up to be a really good spot. You can kind of see it's one down there. Look over here, you got a run going right through there. You got one down here. We got a run shooting straight down into these trees right here. I went into the other side of that, and there's a run going in the other side too. So that's a really thick, dense cover bedding area. We got it laid down here, over here. Looking good. All right, so we just got back to the truck. I just only gave you a few little clips of where I was at. I wasn't gonna film the whole time. It was some pretty rough hiking, steep terrain. A couple times I was on all fours climbing up a hillside. But we got one, maybe two spots picked out. I did. I got one area that I really like that it appears to be kind of a go-between between a staging area, a bedding area. There's a lot of food, that big bedding area that I filmed. Plus down the hillside, there's a big thick patch of saplings that I think also is being used as a bedding area. On both sides of the bedding area, on both sides of the power line path, there are honey locusts, there are acorns, everything. So and then I saw a lot of rubs. Now the weird thing is the rub line followed the perimeter of the public hunting area. I walked the entire perimeter, and because it's just a small little patch right here. I found that to be very interesting. Thought I was going to find some sheds with how many rubs I did find, but haven't found any sheds yet. I'm really surprised I haven't, because it's, you know, it's middle of February, and actually the last week of February. So, but either way, got a couple spots picked out. I was hoping to get more than one area scouted today, but I want to get back home, so I got some time to play with my son outside before dark. But, you know, at first I got a little frustrated about that I didn't have anywhere to, I hadn't got more than one area scouted. But truth of the matter is, you got to worry about quality and not quantity when you're scouting. What I mean by that is, you know, I had ambitions of scouting 3-4 different areas today. But if I had hurried through this spot, I might not have found everything I found. So, you never know how long scouting a particular area is going to take you. Don't try to cover an entire, you know, wildlife management area in one day. That's not going to happen, because you know, every little area of it is going to present different sign that you need to take the time to find and analyze. So instead, break it up into little chunks. All right, I'm going to cover 20 acres of it today in this little area. You know, I have not, I've only got one piece of public property completely scouted so far. No, two. But one of them is only, you know, 15 acres, and the other one is 70 acres. The other two I'm working my way through right now are 100 acres and 600 acres. So I'm breaking those up into little chunks. And every time I scout, I find at least one spot like, yeah, I'm going to come hunt here. Now, what I saw today, I'm going to say it's going to be a good early season, October lull, and late season. Maybe the rut if I can get up in a tree in the middle of that big bedding area, or overlooking it. So that's where we're at. Hopefully this gave you a little bit of, you know, help and information on postseason scouting and how to do it. And then also, hopefully it just gave you a insight where you kind of come along with me, where I'm trying to relearn how to be a better deer hunter. Like I said, I've hunted my whole life. But, you know, there's been a couple things over the years that have just made me get kind of complacent with it. And I'm back to where I really want to focus on bow hunting. I want to focus on taking a mature buck with my bow. And that's become my sole focus. It's what I'm training for. It's what I'm preparing for. I'm shooting, you know, probably on average 25 arrows a day. And training for a total archery challenge, which will in turn make me a better bow hunter. I'm reading every book that I can right now on hunting, on being a good bow hunter. And one particular author that I have really honed in on is John Eberhart. If you're familiar with that name, he's been bow hunting since the 60s, and he has taken over 50 Pope and Young bucks. And he's written, I believe, 6 different books on bow hunting and his methods of bow hunting and how to scout, you know, scent control, everything. And I'm going all in on everything that he says to do. I can't particularly do the tree prep like he does, because I'm hunting nothing but public areas aside from one private. The one spot that I do have private, I did prep the tree with a little bit. I cut some shooting lanes, but you can't cut shooting lanes with a saw on public ground. But I am just trying to be a student completely of his. I've read 3 of his books so far, and I plan to have them all read by the start of bow season. So I'm just trying to keep that white belt mentality with bow hunting, where I can never learn enough, I can never challenge myself enough, and I'm just trying to be humble with it and never get complacent. And that's the thing in life with everything, whether it's with lifting, with our faith in Christ, whether it's with hunting, whatever it is you're pursuing, keep that white belt mentality, because the second you think you've arrived, or the second you think you know everything, that's when you start dying. It really is. Always be a student of whatever you're pursuing. So that's it. Hope y'all enjoyed. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe if you did. Take care.